Hi, my name is Dennis, and thank you so much for joining me today as we're going to be going over our individual level developmental plan. So let's get started. So we're going to start off here, first of all, and foremost, with a quote. You cannot be anything you want to be, but you can be a lot more of what you already are. Now, this quote was taken from Dr. Don Clifton, father of strength psychology and inventor of Clifton Strengths. So how does this tie into our presentation? We'll see in a minute. The individual level assessment. Now, the Clifton Strengths Finder is an instrument used as an assessment tool that measures your talents, your natural patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. We began this journey by first assessing ourselves using two different OD instruments. Now, I employ the use of Clifton Strengths and the FIRO-B model instruments for my own assessment. We then connected our findings to a competency chart as it relates to our organization. We will now embark upon the last leg of our journey that will encompass creating an individual level developmental plan or creating an individual developmental plan by way of designing individual intervention. So as a result of our individual interventions, we must have a scalable competency chart, which is what we have here before you right now. So the chart encompasses columns that represent the instruments used, the scoring from that instrument, our company's goals, and developmental activities as a result of the previous three mentioned columns. Now, in order of priority, our organization's competencies are leadership at the top, customer service right behind, close behind, critical thinking, problem solving, and last but not least, teamwork and collaboration. Now, my organization being that of financing at Roosevelt University. Now, as a result of each one of these columns, it renders the scores, it renders the assessment value, it renders the company goals and the developmental activities that we're going to go over in a minute. Basically, that leads us to an action plan. So now let's connect the dots. So our first priority of leadership falls under the FIRO-B model of the interpersonal needs of control and is represented by an express need to direct others or exert influence and control over them. Now, the customer service competencies, this is measured by the Clifton Strength Finder model and is represented by this instrument's measurement for responsibility. The critical thinking problem solving competency, this one is measured by the Clifton Strength Finder model and represents the competency problem solving by its measurement for strategy. Teamwork and collaboration, coming up last but not least, is measured by the Clifton Strength Finder model and is represented by this instrument's measurement for connectedness. Now it's time to get down to work. So in the last leg of our presentation, we will be going over the idea, the plan, and the action. Leadership and control, the plan. Dennis, myself, can practice developing leadership skills by accepting or volunteering for responsibilities in areas where he feels confident. Action. Focus on specific state and federal programs that assist students with financing that I am good at, as well as advising my director of my availability for projects that no one else either wants or has been available to complete. Now, these are real-time action plans. Customer service responsibility. The plan helps students and their families navigate the complicated financial aid process, supporting and directing and guiding our customers, our students, in their use of our organization. The action plan. Receive thorough briefing and training directly from management on any duties I am expected to perform for our customers. Critical thinking problem solving. The plan. Make great selections and good decisions on paths that lead to customer resolve and avoid paths that lead straight to confusion or resistance. The action. Confirm that the decision and resolves that are made are according to federal government regulations and document the results. Teamwork and collaboration. Last but not least, the plan. Recognize and cultivate the potential in others on my team. The action. Upon completion of my own projects, finding where I can lighten the load of another teammate while encouraging them in their own work. So in conclusion, we have reviewed the creation of an individual level developmental action plan. This was an action plan that was birthed out of acknowledging an organization's competencies represented by what OD organizational development instruments that were used and measured. This plan was then further developed by connecting the instrument's results and goal of the organization to a viable action plan. To Dr. Orr and my fellow classmates, I thank you.